In an experimental field just west of Sydney, Brajesh Singh takes the approach of a seasoned investigator. He's looking for clues in the vegetation, signs that Singh hopes will provide important answers.
What happens with 20% less water?
The University of Western Sydney associate professor is trying to identify the early stages of desertification, a process where dry land areas that are already prone to drought become no longer productive for farmers.
Because of the combinations of the natural aridity and then combined with the human managements, for example, the overgrazing, the management of agriculture practices, and so on, and deforestations, can really impact those vulnerable soils and turn them into deserts. And that's why, and this is where we dependent to feed most of the world population.
The UN says about 2 billion people live in dryland countries that are prone to desertification, and it's increasing because of climate change and unsustainable farming.
There are natural deserts, so these areas are already dry, but when you impose people and communities who are trying to make a living from that landscape on top of it, you just make the problems worse.
Desertification is a particular concern in Australia, where it impacts about 40% of the country's land. That includes a massive river system called the Murray-Darling Basin, responsible for producing a third of Australia's food supply.
The Murray-Darling River system is our food bowl, and if we see massive change occurring, particularly under climate change in that food bowl, then where will Australia's food come from?
One thing researchers here have discovered over time is that once the soil has reached a certain stage of desertification, it's no longer cost-effective to try to bring that land back to a more productive stage. That's why Singh is putting the plants here through increasingly drier conditions to help identify the early signs of desertification when the process can still be reversed.
But it also is a matter of identifying the plant species which can cope with a little bit higher drought or a little bit of desertifications.
Because he says those plants may be the key to bringing the dryland back to a level that people can once again depend on. Greg Navarro, CGTN, Sydney.